Namaste. This is Aparna from Shubh Connections, and you are all very welcome for this live class on pranayama. Those of you who don't know me very well, it's just a little introduction as to why I do what I do and why do I promote yoga, pranayama, meditation, mindfulness. Because I'm a qualified nurse, I did my BSc Nursing honors from Kanpur College of Nursing in India. Then I did my master's in nursing from Rajkumari Amrit Kaur College of Nursing in New Delhi. And then I came to work in Ireland after serving as an assistant professor in College of Nursing, Gwalior in Cancer Hospital and Research Center. And then I came to work as a midwife in National Maternity Hospital in Holles Street in Dublin in Ireland. And presently I'm working as a midwife advisor, and I also have my own wellness business. That's a little introduction about me, but that is just to build the background and let you know that why I'm so passionate about human health. Because as a nurse, I know that if body and mind is not looked after, then respiratory system in a healthy manner so that our lungs work to their full capacity, and hopefully we won't catch COVID-19. And if in case some of us do, then the results are promising that 87% of people can just recover with very mild flu-like symptoms. But if you have done pranayama, yoga, meditation, mindfulness, then the chances are that your recovery will be much faster for catching COVID-19 if you have been paying attention to your body, if you have been paying attention to your mind. It's all part of the preventive medicine and preventive holistic nursing care. So there is a very, very good reason that why we should all be practicing pranayama. So if first, just a disclaimer that everything that I will talk in this class today is for educational purpose only. And if you are already practicing, it might add to your practice. Or if you want to take up simple breathing exercises, you can. But this is not a substitute for any professional medical advice. So if you suffer with any serious medical illnesses like high blood pressure, heart disease, and severe migraine, or if you have a severe respiratory illness, then you must consult your physician before starting any yoga or pranayama program. But today I'm going to explain you in detail about the respiratory system, how it works, what are the benefits of doing pranayama, and what are the different pranayama exercises that you can do. So if you are watching from India or from Ireland or from any other part of the world, then do come and say hello, because I will love looking at your comments later on, and I will try and respond to them. So even if you have any questions that you think I might be able to answer, then please pop your question in the chat box, and I promise to get back to you with the answer, even if not now during the live class, maybe later on after the class. So if we talk about our respiratory system, it consists of nose, mouth, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and lungs. So these are all the different parts that make up our respiratory system. And why it is important that we breathe in and out through the nose majority of the time. We all have to sometime do mouth breathing when our nose is severely blocked because of hay fever, or because we have some kind of congestion in the nose, or have some kind of illness where it is very hard to breathe through the nose. But nose is the first organ that plays very important role in keeping our body healthy through a healthy respiration. So when the air enters through the nostril, it goes through a very important process of filtration and warming up of the air. So how does the filtration happens in the nose? Because there are some small hair inside the nose, and they're called cilia. And those cilia filter the debris out from the air, and they also moisten the air. So the air enters through the to the body through the nose, and it is moistened. And then there are sinuses inside the nostrils in these places. So these sinuses regulate the temperature of the air that goes in. So the air that enters in the body is a cool air, and then the air comes out from the body is a warm air. And also, you all know that we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. Then another important aspect of breathing healthy is the muscles of the breathing. So the important major muscles of breathing are diaphragm. So diaphragm is a dome-shaped structure that separates the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity. And it plays the most important role for breathing. Then the other important muscles that play a very crucial role during our breathing process is the intercostal muscles. And intercostal muscles are all these muscles in the rib cage. So they are a group of muscles, and that run between the ribs. So these are the muscles that are between the ribs, and they help to move the chest wall. So chest wall moves up and down, it expands and it shrinks, and it helps to facilitate breathing by moving the chest cavity up and down. The other important muscles that play a huge role is the abdominal muscles. So very few people pay attention to that, because the healthy core abdominal muscles also play a great role in healthy, normal breathing. So if you suffer with asthma, if you suffer with COPD, then if your abdominal muscles are weak, probably your respiratory system will suffer even more. But if you build up your core abdominal muscles, then they will support your respiratory system and your breathing will get better. And as you know that only 25% of the population breathes with their full lung capacity. And about 50% of the population breathes in a reverse manner. So rather than breathing in and the belly goes out, and breathing out and the belly goes in, it happens otherwise for them. So they do it in a reverse manner. So I'm going to talk about the role of the in-breath and the diaphragm, what happens to diaphragm, and then rib cage, how it helps to support our breathing process. And if you're watching, as I said, please do say hello and do write your comment, because I will be looking at them later on. So how the breathing works? Through our brain, because breathing is not something that when we only do in pranayama. Thankfully, it's an involuntary mechanism. So even if we don't want to, we just breathe. If you want to check how long you can survive without breathing, you just hold your breath and you won't be lasting for much long, and your body will be craving for the breath. So even when we are sleeping, we are breathing, which is great. But why do we do pranayama then? Because pranayama is a conscious breathing, and the other breathing is involuntary, just a natural breathing. And there is a difference between natural breathing and the conscious breathing. So you are awakening the accessory muscles of breathing by doing a good pranayama practice. So I was going to explain that how breath works. So it is the action of the muscles that causes breathing, and we already learned that the muscles that play a very important role in breathing is the diaphragm, is the intercostal muscles, and it's the abdominal muscles that supports the healthy breathing process. But also the nerve cells. Nerve cells play a very important role because they send impulses to our brain in the center, which is called medulla oblongata. And when the brain gets the signal that there is a low oxygen in the body, then there is a in-breath. And then the diaphragm kind of acts upon that action. And then when there is a high carbon dioxide level, then a nerve impulse is then sent to the pons varoli, and then the inspiration stops and it provokes exhalation. So the medulla oblongata in the brain and the pons varoli in the brain plays a very important role for a healthy breathing mechanism. So diaphragm, as I said, is the most important part of the breathing process. It's a dome-shaped when relaxed and flattens when it is contracted. So what is the normal breath like? Normal breath is a zigzag breath. So normal breath flows irregularly, and it depends on so many things. It really even depends on your medical condition, your health condition, how you are feeling in your mind, how you are feeling in your emotional state. So if you are very upset, or if you are feeling very sad, or if you're feeling threatened, then your breathing might be very fast, and that can affect your breathing. So our normal breathing, even if you just want to sometime sit down and watch your normal breath, then you will see that your breath is quite, there isn't any very regular pattern. Sometimes it is long, sometimes it is short, sometimes it is shallow, sometimes it is deep. So sometimes when we are very sad, we'll just do a lot of shallow breathing, and then suddenly we'll take like a sobbing type of one deep breath. So the emotion with pranayama to control the breathing, and there have been many scientific researches which have proven that how the conscious breathing affects our brain. Because there was a study I was reading in the Forbes magazine in 2016, and it actually accidentally stumbled upon a neural circuit in the brainstem. That was in 2016, so it is very latest. Only 4 years back, we found out about this neural circuit in the brain. And it seems to play a key role in the breathing. So what does it do? It's called breathing control connection. And the circuit is part of the brain, what we call it as breathing pacemaker. So if you are a healthcare worker, if you are a nurse, a midwife, a nurse teacher, or even if you are part of the general population, we all have heard about the pacemaker. So the pacemaker that is fitted for the cardiac patients to control their breathing. So in the same way, we have a natural breathing pacemaker, that's a neural circuit in our brain, which plays a very important role because it can be adjusted according to the breathing rhythm. So slow, controlled breathing that happens in pranayama is a kind of breathing that decreases this activity in this circuit of the brain. Whereas fast, erratic breathing increases the activity in the brain. So there is every reason, every scientific evidence-based information that we should be breathing in a controlled, slow manner with pranayama on a regular basis. So I'm going to also talk about the three important aspects of breathing that happens during pranayama. I know there is a lot of explanation, but when we explain things to human mind, then it makes sense and you will be more inspired to do the pranayama because you have seen a lots of times. Why you're not doing it on an everyday basis? Even though you practice yoga, but you don't include pranayama in your regular practice. Why? So, hopefully, after today's class, you will. And that's what I'm hoping for. So, pranayama consists of three main things: inhalation, exhalation, and retention of the breath. And there is a particular term in Sanskrit for each one of them. So, inhalation is called puraka, and then exhalation is called rechaka, and retention is called kumbhaka. So there is a whole pattern. So it's like this, and then it goes like this, and then it comes down. So it starts with breathing in. So when you breathe in, that means you're doing puraka, and when you do puraka and breath goes in, then if you retain your breath, it's called antara kumbhaka. That means you are retaining the breath inward. And when you are breathing out, you're doing rechaka or exhalation, and then you retain your breath there before breathing in again. It's called bahya kumbhaka. So retention of breath is two types: antara kumbhaka and bahya kumbhaka. And both are very crucial for our pranayama practice. So there are lots of benefits of doing pranayama, and I'm sure I don't even need to emphasize them. But just to motivate you a little bit more about including it in your daily life, I'm going to re-emphasize, especially during this pandemic, why it is so important that each one of us should practice pranayama on a daily basis. So by doing regular pranayama, your body releases a lot of toxins. So obviously when body will release the toxins, then your body will be much more healthier. It's like when you are hoovering your house, you are cleaning out. So the same thing happens with exhalation. When you are consciously exhaling out, you are clearing the toxins from the body. And it also improves your metabolism. And when your metabolism is improved, you can even lose weight by improving your digestion. So your digestive process improves. And there are very subtle energy channels in our body, and they are called nadis. And actually, the whole system of yoga is based on working through the nadis, which I'm not very familiar with, but I know that by doing pranayama, you clear these subtle energy channels in your body. Because if you know the meaning of the yoga, yoga comes from the Sanskrit word 𝙀𝙥. 𝙀𝙥 meaning the union of body, mind, and soul. So the union of body, mind, and soul means also a balancing of the energy of sun and moon, balancing the positive and the negative, and balancing on the subjective mind and the objective mind, balancing the masculine energy and balancing the feminine energy. Because in each one of us, whether we have a male body or we have a female body, we have both type of energies, masculine energies and feminine energies. And the people who come across as most healthy, successful, and effective, they have balanced energy in their body. Their masculine and feminine and sun and moon energy is in good balance. So anyway, that's one of the main benefits, that you can clear the subtle energy channels. And it also improves the blood circulation, because when you breathe in full awareness and when you breathe out really slowly in full awareness, you improve the blood circulation through the lungs, through the heart, and through the entire body. And every single cell in your body gets the full benefit. And it also adds radiance to your face. So that's another reason, especially for us women, we make so much effort to look beautiful. And if by simply doing pranayama you can look beautiful, then why bother doing anything else more than doing more pranayama? So do more pranayama and see how your glory on the face and the glamour on the face changes. And it also energizes your nervous system, and it rejuvenates the brain cells, and it also calms you down. So you can try sometime if you're feeling very stressed, upset, if your partner or if somebody has said something bad to you and you're suddenly feeling that your breath is getting really, really fast, then all you have to do is literally put your right hand on your chest, put your left hand on your belly, and just start to breathe in full awareness. And once you breathe in full awareness, it will instantly calm you down, because what it does, it really activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and it calms the breathing down, it calms the mood down, and it uplifts your mood. So just simply breathing, you can actually feel that your mood is uplifted. So if you have been feeling down, depressed with the lockdown and staying at home the whole time, not going to work, if it's depressing you down, you're not alone. That is happening with majority of the population. But I can guarantee that if you practice these pranayama practices every day, your mood will be uplifted. So we will start now doing some practical, although I will still be talking and explaining in between. So I want you to drop all the doing. So if you're doing something, running around and still listening to me and continue to wash your dishes or something, then just leave all that, take a mat, or just simply sit down wherever you can. You don't even have to necessarily sit on the floor. You can sit on a chair, but just simply sit down, because I want you to do with me, because that's the only way you are going to learn. By simply listening to me, you're not going to remember anything. So I'm going to bring you close to your own body. I'm going to bring you close to your own breath. And I want you to experiment with your body. I want you to experiment with your breath and see what happens, and see what you feel and how close you come to your breath. Okay. So what I would like to ask you to explore the breath in the body. And that can be done in 3 parts of yogic breath. So how do we do this 3 part of yogic breath? Is by simply placing our hands on our clavicle. So this is our clavicle bone. It is also called as beauty bone. So take your fingertips out, put them on your clavicle, feel the clavicle, because in mindfulness we teach you to befriend your body. So how do you befriend your body? By getting to know your body, what is where and how do I work with it. So just feel the bone here. So this is your clavicle bone. And now from this clavicle bone, you can just place your hand here on clavicle bone. And now I will be quiet and I want you to just breathe in and out and tell me what you feel. You can actually pop in the chat box what you feel when you breathe in and out, what happens to the clavicle bone, what happens to this part of the body. and release. So what did you notice? What I noticed is when I place my hand on my clavicle bone, it rises and falls with each breath. So the torso. The torso is the most important part of the body that plays its full role in breathing. So torso is this part of the body without arms and legs and head. So all this area is called torso of the human body. And the lungs are here, and the intercostal muscles and the rib cage and clavicle and chest cavity, everything is here. So this is what is the first part of the yogic breath that we feel in this area of the body. Then the second part of the breath you feel is in your rib cage. So I want you to place your hands on your rib cage. And just breathe in and out and tell me what do you notice. You can pop in the chat box what you notice when you breathe in and out like this. So what I notice is that when I breathe in and out like this, placing my hands on the rib cage, it expands and it contracts. So it expands with the in-breath, it contracts with the out-breath. Now let's see the third part of the yogic breath. What happens to the abdominal muscles or abdomen when we breathe? So as I told you earlier, if you remember that 50% of the world population breathes in the reverse manner. So this is your opportunity to check how do you breathe naturally. So place your hands on your belly like this and breathe in and out, and pop in the chat box what happens when you breathe into the abdomen, when you breathe out to the abdomen. So what happened? I'm sure you would have noticed that when you breathe in, then the belly comes out. So the abdomen rises and it comes out. And when you breathe out, the belly goes in. So the abdominal muscles move in towards the spine and you exhale. Okay? So this is what happens with the yogic breath. So you can do this in the beginning of your pranayama to prepare the torso, to prepare the lungs for the pranayama practice. So you first place your hands on your clavicle, feel the breath, place your hands on your rib cage, feel the breath, place your hands on your abdomen and feel the breath. Then the next one that I'm going to do is called Bhastrika. Bhastrika or Bellows breath. So the name is given because it's a very traditional exercise in yoga to increase the prana. And when we say prana, because prana plus yama is pranayama. So prana is the cosmic energy that is all around us in the cosmos. It is available to each one of us. And it is full of plus and minus. It's full of positive charge particles. It's full of negative charge particles. The more you do pranayama, the more you get the balanced prana in your body. And then yama. Yama meaning exercise. So it would be wrong to simply say that pranayama is a breathing exercise because it is way beyond that. how it works in the subtle energy channels in your body, how your energy has an effect on the cosmic energy, and how cosmic energy has effect on your own energy. So it is way beyond than just simple breathing exercises. So the Bhastrika or Bellows breath is best practiced in the morning or when you are practicing the midday slump. So if you have eaten your dinner in the last hour or two, then please do not do these pranayama with me. Just watch it, and it is also available on my 𝙀𝙥𝙞𝙀𝙀 Connections YouTube video. It is also live at the moment on YouTube. So if you miss out or if you can't do pranayama with me now because you have eaten your dinner in India, it's 9:30, so you must have eaten your dinner. Actually, it's now 10 p.m. So don't do this now, but you can always go back to that channel, 𝙀𝙀 Connections, and play through that video in the morning or during the midday slump, and you can practice pranayama. So how to perform Bhastrika? So you need to sit tall with your spine, keeping the spine erect from the crown of the head to the tailbone, keeping the spine straight, keeping the shoulders relaxed and head sitting in the middle, and placing your hands on your thighs. And just for Bhastrika, it's a bellows breath. So just inhaling sharp and exhaling sharp. So basically it is sharp inhalations and sharp exhalations. So I will do it, and if you haven't eaten in the last 2 hours, you can do it with me. So it is quick, sharp inhalations, quick, sharp exhalations. That means you're literally kind of breathing at least twice in 5 seconds. So you're really breathing fast, and you're really breathing quick, and breathing sharp inside and sharp out breath. So this Bhastrika is usually the first pranayama that you do, and you do about 10 breaths like this. And then the next one that I'm going to do is called Anuloma Pranayama. Especially for my friends in India, Anuloma that you are familiar with because of its popularity and publicity through many yoga teachers. Even a child might know when you say, how do you do Anuloma Pranayama? They'll just do the alternate nostril breathing. But that is not complete Anuloma Pranayama. So I'm going to introduce you today to the full Anuloma Pranayama. It has a step-by-step approach to Anuloma Pranayama. So how we do it is by starting to inhale and exhale in full awareness without even closing any nostril. So you just simply place your hands on your legs and count up to 10. If you're an advanced practitioner, you can count up to 20 and breathe in while counting up to 20 and breathe out while counting up to 20. So do this about 10 to 15 times. So this is the first preparatory part of Anulom Vilom Pranayama. Then we do the next part of Anulom Vilom Pranayama, which is called Chandranulom. So we were talking about nadis in the body. Nadis are the subtle energy channels that run through the body on the left side and the right side, through the entire body, along the blood vessels, blood vascular system, our lymphatic system, and like that there is a whole like wire of nervous system in the whole body. In the same way, there are subtle energy channels in the body. So these subtle energy channels are called nadis. So the two main nadis that we will focus during Anulom Vilom Pranayama are called Chandra Nadi and Surya Nadi. So Chandra Nadi runs through the left side of the body and Surya Nadi runs through the right side of the body. So we will balance the energy of sun and moon through Anulom Vilom Pranayama by balancing the energy of these nadis in a step-by-step approach. So the first one is Chandranilum Pranayama. So to do Chandranilum Pranayama and the rest of the stages of Anulom Vilom Pranayama, you need to adopt Nasi Ka Mudra. So how do you make Nasi Ka Mudra? Is just you bring your hand out. So you bring your right hand out and then you fold the first two fingers. So your index finger and middle finger, you fold it down and then bring it to the base of the thumb, and then the other two fingers are straight and the thumb is straight, and just reduce the gap between these two. So you're literally moving this like this. But if Nasi Ka Mudra is too difficult for you, then don't feel that you must make Nasi Ka Mudra to do Anulom Vilom Pranayama. You don't have to. As long as you are somehow closing one side and closing the other side, that's all. That is the most important thing for Anulom Vilom Pranayama. So those of you who want to adopt Nasi Ka Mudra, just close the right side of the nostril and only inhale and exhale through the left nostril, and that is Chandranilum Vilom. So do it about 10 times. So this was Chandranilum Vilom Pranayama. And now the next one that we will do is called Suryanulom Vilom Pranayama. So if you are sitting on a mat or sitting on a floor and your legs are feeling uncomfortable, please feel free to move your legs. You can just simply sit in Sukhasana, or you can move on the chair if you want, because those of you who have knee problem and find it very hard to sit on the floor, it is really not necessary to sit on the floor to benefit with the pranayama, because with pranayama you are working with your torso. So even when you are sitting on a chair and you are keeping your torso straight, you are keeping your spine is erect. Sorry, that's all that matters. So you don't have to worry about sitting on the floor. So for Surya Nulom Vilom, adopting the Nasi Ka Mudra, close the left side of the nostril and only breathe in and out from the right side, which is Surya Nulom Vilom. And release. I forgot to mention that you may need a couple of tissues beside you when you're doing an Anuloma Pranayama, because those of you who have a lot of congestion in the nose, you may feel that the water is coming out through the nose or mucus is coming out, and it's always a good sign. So don't worry if that happens, just keep some tissues handy to wipe the nose. And the next one that comes in this series of Anulom Vilom Pranayama is called Surya Bhedana. So for Surya Bhedana also, you need to adopt your Nasi Ka Mudra if you choose to, and you keep the left side of the nostril closed, and you inhale and exhale only from the sorry, I'm getting confused because they are very confusing. So just to go back to Surya Bhedana. So for Surya Bhedana, you will be inhaling from the right and exhaling from the left. And again closing and inhaling from the left and exhaling from the right. So this is called Surya Bhedana. And do it 10 times. And release. Now we do this Chandra Bhedana. So for Chandra Bhedana, just the exact opposite of what you did in Surya Bhedana. So you will be inhaling from the left and exhaling from the right. And after each inhalation and each exhalation, you will be closing the nostril of that side. So adopting your Nasi Ka Mudra, close the right nostril and inhale. And release. And now we have come to the final stage of Anulom Vilom Pranayama, which is called Nadi Shuddhi. And Nadi Shuddhi means purification of the subtle parts of the energy channels or the nadis. And this is what is most famous as Anulom Vilom, which is called alternate nostril breathing. So all you will be doing is through the Nasi Ka Mudra, you will be closing right nostril, exhale, inhale from the left, close the left, exhale, inhale from the right, close the right, exhale, inhale from the left, and keep repeating for about 10 to 15 times. So do it with me now so that you know what to do when you practice at home. So it's called Nadi Shuddhi or Anulom Vilom Pranayama. And release. And don't forget, if you're watching, do say hello, do write your comment so that I feel inspired to do more videos. And if you wish to book your online classes with me for mindful yoga, which I teach every Sunday morning at 9 a.m., then you can book your class. Each class is themed, and I always combine mindfulness with my yoga classes. And then I'm also planning to start the mindful living course from 13th of September, if I have it right. It is on Sunday. So every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., I will be running a 6-week mindful living course, which will be mainly online, but who live nearby and they wish to join me for a socially distant or outdoor mindful living course, then please contact me and I will book you in for this upcoming mindful living course. So after this Anuloma Pranayama, the next one which we are going to do is called Bhramari. So Bhramari Pranayama is also known as humming bee breath. And this humming bee breath is very effective in instantly calming the mind. So if your mind is agitated, irritated, lot of unhappy people around you, then you should just go in a room and do the Bhramari and see the magic. So how you do this is by just simply bringing your two hands out and close your ears and close your eyes. Again, you can do it in a proper mudra, or you can just simply close your eyes. So the mudra that we do with Bhramari is very simple. So you close the ear canal with your thumbs. They are very important sensory organs. So it's like a message. You are saying, I don't want any outdoor noise. I don't want any outside noise going into me. And then you are closing your eyes, which is again a very important sensory organ. All the input in this computer of the body comes through your senses. So you close the eyes and you're saying, I don't want to see anything at this moment, so please do not disturb me. And then you place your index finger on your eyebrows and you place your little finger on top of the lips where there are very important sinuses. These are the pressure points. So you can do it in a mudra or just simply close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, close your ear canal, you take a deep breath in and then create that sound of a humming bee, or you can simply just chant Om and absorb that sound in the body to bring the balance in the energy. So do it with me about 5 times. And release. So this was Bhramari, which is very effective in calming the mind. And you also do this while sitting upright. Now we are coming to the end of the practice of pranayama. So I want to end with a very effective and good one. There are many more pranayama, but you know what? I'm literally teaching for almost an hour. And I can't do any more. So I will come back and talk about other pranayama some other day. But I'm going to end with Kapalbhati, which is an important pranayama for energizing the nervous system. Kapal means skull and bhati means shining. So I don't really exactly know why the name is given Kapalbhati as a skull shining pranayama, but those who practice this pranayama, I believe that they have a shine on their forehead and they have a special aura that gives them that special type of look on their face. So if you want that natural radiance on your forehead, then do Kapalbhati pranayama. So for this pranayama, sit straight, tall with your spine, and just simply what you will have to do, it's a kind of tough one to get. So don't worry if you don't get the hang of it in a couple of goes. You may need to keep coming back to it to get the hang of it. So what you need to do is sit tall and breathe in. And when you breathe in, your tummy will come out. And then you do only exhalations. So you're only breathing out. And each time you are quickly exhaling. So all the exhalations are sharp and all the inhalations are passive. So you're not making any effort to breathe in. You're only breathing out. You are exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. And in between, the breath is just flowing in naturally. And when you feel tired, then what you can do is you can, when you start to feel that your torso is getting tired, because all these muscles in your lower back, all these muscles in your abdomen, they will all be working hard for this pranayama. So if you start to get tired, then what you can do is you can just simply stop and then take a normal natural breath again, and when you're ready, then go again. So if you are a beginner and you don't do Kapalbhati on a regular basis, you might be able to do it only 4 or 5 times or 10 exhalations in one go. So after those exhalations, you can stop, take natural breath, and then again do this another cycle of Kapalbhati. So I'm going to do it now. I'll do 3 cycles of Kapalbhati. And then just taking the normal natural breath. And it's good for you to know that you will be building up your core muscles. A lot of people would like to have a nice flat belly or a strengthening of the abdominal muscles. That just happens with Kapalbhati. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't be doing Kapalbhati. I'm a midwife as well, so it is very important to take care of women who are pregnant, and they should know what they can do and what they can't do. So if you're pregnant, then don't practice Kapalbhati Pranayama. And the next cycle, breathing in. And this is taking the normal natural breath. And I'll do just one more last cycle. And you will notice that in the first cycle, you could do more rounds. In the second cycle, you can do little less rounds. And coming up to third, you might be able to do even less number of exhalations. And release. So with this, we have come to the end of today's pranayama practice, but I want to end with chanting of Om. So please sit down and chant Om with me if you're watching live or even if you are playing the video from YouTube or from my Facebook page of Shubh Connections, then please practice with me. So when you are doing it, you will learn it and grasp it. So just chant Om, which actually, and direct your energy towards people who are suffering during this COVID-19 pandemic, who are sick and admitted in the hospital. So please, when you do this chanting of Om, in your mind, just imagine a green or white light, mixture of green and white light, traveling all the way to these sick people who are suffering with pandemic. And you will be sending them healing energy. And believe me, it works. And release. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will do a little prayer again for people who are suffering during this pandemic, either physically or mentally. So I will say the prayer in Sanskrit, and the phonetics work on your mind. So even if you don't understand Sanskrit, it will still be effective. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhavet. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free of disease. May all beings can see what is good for them. Om, peace, peace, peace. And with this, I end today's pranayama practice class. And if you have liked my class, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shubh Connections. So Shubh is spelled as SHUBH, and press the bell icon so that you get notifications of all the upcoming videos, and also like my Facebook page, and I'm also on Instagram as Shubh Connections, and I'm hoping to bring you much more because I know that it is a very long, prolonged lockdown. The number of cases are increasing in Ireland. The number of cases are definitely on the rise every single day in India, and people are really suffering. So I will do my bit, I promise, I will. And if you work for a college, or if you work for a company, and if your company wants to do online meditation classes for the employees, or if you want to book a corporate mindfulness sessions or yoga sessions, then please contact the Shubh Connections on my website. It's www.shubhconnections.com, and also you can reach me on Twitter or on my LinkedIn profile. So available on all the social media channels, and I cannot say thank you enough for your presence, for watching me, and for staying with me and giving me your love. Because love is all there is. The energy is all there is. So this one is for you, for your presence, bringing an attitude of gratitude to this beautiful mind, this beautiful body, and this beautiful presence. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will meet again soon.